Valentine's Day is coming up and I made these cute little jar cakes to give away to my family and friends. If you want to learn how to make these, stay tuned. I can't believe Valentine's Day is just around the corner. This year is going by so quickly. When I was a little kid, I used to give out little chocolates to all of my friends on Valentine's Day, and now that I bake, I thought I'd give them something a little bit more personal and make these cute little jar cakes to give out to them. And they're adorable, and they're so easy to make, and they taste so good. And because I couldn't choose between the two, I decided to make both strawberry shortcake and red velvet. To begin making this red velvet jar, I started with a red velvet cake. The recipe is in the description down below. To prepare my cake, I cut off the caramelized parts on the side and the top of the cake. I didn't particularly have to level it, just remove the harder parts or the brownish parts. Then cut the cake into many little squares so they're easy to fill in the jars. Then I had to make the cream cheese icing. Red velvet always goes best with cream cheese icing and it tastes amazing. So let me show you how that's done. Cream cheese icing can be a little bit difficult to make depending on the amount of ingredients that you put in and depending on the weather. Sometimes it might get a little bit liquidy, so I'll show you how I made this one, which is the perfect consistency. To make the icing, you'll need 1 cup of unsalted butter, 16 ounces or 2 cups of cream cheese, 5 cups of icing sugar, and 1 teaspoon vanilla. Make sure all of your ingredients are at room temperature before you begin. Start by mixing your butter in an electric mixer for 8 to 10 minutes until light and fluffy. I'm using my KitchenAid here, but you can use a hand mixer if you want. Add the cream cheese to the mix until fluffy, scraping down the sides as you need it. Add 1 teaspoon vanilla extract to the mixture. Put the mixer on low and add your icing sugar 1 spoon at a time. Continue to mix until smooth. To make this easier to put in the jars, I then add a big round silver tip to the end of a frosting bag and cut the end of the bag. Fill the bag with icing until about 3/4 of the way full. I don't know about you, but when I make cakes, I have a lot of cake left over when I cut off the tops of the cake and I actually level my cake. That means I just have cake lying around all over the place all the time, and it's too much for me to actually eat. I save a lot of them to make cake pops and put them in the freezer, but there's still quite a bit left over. Don't throw it out. You don't have to eat all of it. Make these. They're so easy and you can 100% use the tops of the cake. Just cut off the little crust and you're good to go. And they're so adorable and people will love you for it. I bought these jars from the dollar store. They came 4 in a pack for like $1 something. They are perfect size. They're like little jam jars. I mean, I know that it's Valentine's Day, but I still like to have some portion control. Start filling up your jars with cake first and just eyeball the amount. You want to make sure you get enough layers in there. Then take your piping bag and pipe around the edge of the jar, making sure that it's touching the edges, and then fill in the center. Cake, icing, cake, and then make sure to end off with icing at the very top. I topped it off with a few crumbs of the cake to make it look a little bit more Valentine's-y. If you want to shut the lid on these, make sure you don't put too much icing at the top. For my strawberry shortcake jars, I did the exact same thing, except I used vanilla cake, which was tinted a little bit pink. I used the same cream cheese icing, and I added a 3rd layer of strawberries in there, which made it taste so good. I cut 1 cup of strawberries and put them in a bowl. I added 2 teaspoons of sugar and mixed it well all together. The sugar will start to make the strawberries a little bit more juicy. I then made the jars in the same way, cake, icing, strawberries, cake, icing. And then you can add strawberries on top if you wish. I made this date jar for my hubby last year for Valentine's Day because, I don't know, I'm corny like that. And we never actually even used it. We go on a lot of outings, but we never actually didn't have an idea that I had to pull an idea out of here. And I think I even color coded them depending on the type of event that we wanted to do. Let's see, I don't even know what's in here anymore. Beach trip. No wonder we didn't do any of these. We did go on a beach trip last year, so I guess that's done. Let's see. Road trip. Clearly I like traveling. Did that also. Let's see. Tubing. Water/snow. We just did that the other day. Look at us on a roll. Guess I didn't need this. You can add these cute toppers as well and leave them open at a party, or you can just close them up and give them away. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe right over here. Thank you so much for watching, and happy Valentine's Day, everybody.